Hi, everyone. Welcome to Taiwan Live. Yeah, MJ here. We got 0 viewers. That's okay. You can see up in the corner. That's all right. It's always like that when I start. You know, the bulk of my viewers are replay viewers. And fortunately for, YouTube, you can leave comments after the stream, which you could not do or cannot do with Periscope. But we could do it with broadcast back in the old days. Now, I made a couple of changes. I'm using my NVIDIA GPU to offload some of the graphics processing onto the GPU. In order to not use so much CPU time. It shows, according to my stats, I got about between 16, I'm burping because I've been drinking, between 16 to 20 or so percent CPU. 0 drop frames. I've got like 27 kilobytes per second speed here. Yeah, we're doing good. This is great. Now, I have Line open. For those of you who use the Line app, L-I-N-E, I want to show this to you because it's important. In the Line app, we use, let me show you this. This is our QR code for the Line app because we have a late night group using the Line app. And the cool thing is, Line supports video and audio calls. So while I'm on the air here doing a live stream in my studio, if you want to join me using the Line app, all you got to do is join the late night group. And you can do so. And we're pretty flexible. I mean, I do have things, that I have set up to do ahead of time. But generally speaking, because it's live streaming and I'm used to being a live streamer, we got to go with the flow. And if somebody gives me a call, I just let them interrupt me. All right, here's the other thing that I want to show you. If you want to send us a postcard here, this is great. You can send a postcard down to the place where I stream in the field a lot, and I'll talk about that later. You can go to taiwanlive.tv. That is our companion website, taiwanlive.tv/late-night-show. There's an actual web page dedicated to the show. If you scroll down, you'll see a link. It says mailing labels for postcard. If you click on that link, you can download a PDF file. The PDF file has our address, and it's interlaced with English and Chinese. So pretty much no matter where you're sending a postcard from in the world, that will satisfy the postal authorities. They'll know where it's going in English, even if they can't read the Chinese, and vice versa. So that way you can just print them out, stick it on your postcard, and send it here. Now, if you want to send me an email, you can send an email to latenight@taiwanlive.tv. That's latenight@taiwanlive.tv, just as it says there in the graphic. Great. Now, the cool thing is that if you want to send me a bumper or you want to send me something else, like, I don't know, maybe a photograph or something that you've been doing or anything cool that we could use on the show, just seriously, send it to me and we'll show it. All right, now, what I wanted to do was this. Let me check something here. I got to go to the other window. Okay, I think we're all set. A couple of weeks ago, the U.S. military released a report on a UFO incident that happened a couple of years ago. I think I'm going to say 2005. I'm not sure. But anyway, I want to say welcome to everyone who's just joined, and please be sure and say hi in the chat and let us know where you're viewing from. I'm going to say it's 2005, and they've been sitting on it for a while. You know, the thing is, the public in general around the world, especially the U.S. public, you know, we're ready to hear about ETs. We're ready to hear about UFOs. They don't scare us anymore. We've had enough movies by John Carpenter. Anyway, what I was saying before was, in another stream, you know, if you personally see a UFO, well, you know, that's one thing. Your friends are going to ridicule you and blah, blah, blah. It's another thing if you get a photograph. But, you know, these days, even on a mobile phone, you can photograph something and you can manipulate it. You can even have like Lightroom or Photoshop on your tablet. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do. So even a photograph, it's not really proof positive that you saw anything. And this is the problem that a lot of people have today, you know, with reporting UFOs, or AAVs as they're now called, anomalous aerial vehicles. Holy crap, there are so many acronyms today that you just, there should be an app. Maybe I should do this. There should be an app for acronyms that you can just type an acronym in, press a button, and it gives you a list of everything that it could possibly be, because that's just about it. But anyway, so this anomalous this anomalous aerial vehicle. Hang on a second. You know what? Hang on a second. Oh, my sister's online here. I'm going to tell her something. I'm going to tell my sister that I'm live on YouTube right now. And I can do that because it's my show. Anyway, so, you know, if you see it, it's one thing. If you take a picture, it's another thing, but it's really not that, I guess it's not an irrefutable piece of evidence. However, if you're a radar operator and you get a ping on something, right? That's a solid object. Remember, radar means radio detection and ranging. So the radio waves detect something, and due to the time delay, you know, from the reflection, they can tell how far away it is, and thus the ranging. So if you get a radar lock, that's pretty good evidence. If you get a FLIR, that's forward-looking infrared lock, whoa, that's even more. So these Navy guys, if you know anybody in the Navy, you know, and the Air Force, actually, all the military guys are cool, but the Navy guys are known for being particularly cool because they have to deal with ships and planes. And these guys are cool, and they see a blip and they track it, and it's really amazing what happens, and they actually get a lock. Now, this video came out a couple of weeks ago, and let me tell you what's happened is that every news agency in the world has copied this same video and put their logo on the end of it. Now, I didn't do that, but the video that I have is actually branded by USA Today. So you're going to see the USA Today logo. It doesn't really matter, but here it is. I'm going to show you. It says, watch Navy jet lock scope on UFO. And the interesting thing is, it is an infrared lock. So any object that's colored white is hot. Excuse me. Any object that's colored white is cold. And if it's black, it's hot. So here it is. We're going to watch the Navy lock on here. Here we go. And there it is. That little blip. Oh, they got it. All right, you know what? My switcher did not switch correctly, and you know this is live TV, so sometimes we have goof ups. So let me do that again. I'm using a switcher here, and it didn't switch. And of course, you notice my goofy facial expressions while I'm watching this. All right, hang on a second. Let me just do this again. Now we got it. Anyway, that thing is flying. I apologize for that glitch and not having it in full screen mode. Yeah, that thing was flying along, and they finally got a lock on it. But as you heard, they were saying, what is it? They don't know. Now, I'm using my tablet with the OBS remote control. Hey Ken, how you doing? Using my tablet as the remote control for Streamlabs OBS, and it works great. It works great as long as you got one of these. This has to function. If you do the wrong thing, like I did. So anyway, that was the UFO video that I wanted to show you, because it is pretty much irrefutable. I mean, that was something that they got a radar lock and a FLIR lock on. And you don't lock on a cloud. You don't lock on a temperature. You don't lock on a phantom. You don't lock on some of a, figment, excuse me, of someone's imagination. But the interesting thing is, there was another report this week about a UFO they called the Tic Tac. Just like the little thing that in the States. I don't know other parts of the world, but the little breath mint, TICTAK. Tic Tac, or is it TAC? Yeah. Anyway, TICTAC, I think. Tic Tac. And that's what it looked like. The ground radar showed this object, and the intercept jets went there, and they said, wow, it looks like a giant Tic Tac. And it made no sound, just didn't do anything. But all of a sudden, shot up in the sky at supersonic speeds, and people were freaking out, so. Anyway, for those of you who have just joined us, I want to say hello, and thank you very much for joining. And I want to share the information again about the stream. If you want to send us a postcard, you can go to taiwanlive.tv/late night show. If you go to taiwanlive.tv, there is a menu. And hey, I want to say hi to Mike. I want to say hi to Betty for joining us tonight. Thank you so much. And you can send an email late night to late night at taiwanlive.tv. That's late night at taiwanlive.tv. And this is our QR code for the line group. Now, any of you who are in our line group, well, you're welcome to give me a call. I've got line set up, and I got my USB interface and everything all set up so that I can communicate on voice calls or video calls using the Line app. Hey, Bud, how you doing? All right. Hey, you guys. Nice to see you all here. Betty, how are you? And Mike, how you doing? Mike from the Psoriasis channel. And that's a channel that you want to check out, because Mike actually, as opposed to my channel, actually tries to help people with things, which is great. And yeah, this is a lot of fun. I also have Skype enabled tonight, and we have Skype turned on and all set up for Skype calls. So if you want to give us a call, you can give us a call at Taiwan Live TV, just one word. Taiwan Live, Live TV, all together. Basically, let me see. Not like this, But yeah, just like you see it there, but without the dot. TaiwanLive.tv. Yeah, thanks for putting up with my crappy scene changes there. So yeah, we need Win-Win's address for postcards. There you go. And we really appreciate it. Win-Win so far, I think she's gotten 15 postcards from around the world, and she loves it. And you know, when the customers come to her place, she's always showing these postcards. Hey, look at what I got. It's really, really cool. And I tell Win-Win, of course, the conversation is in Chinese, how famous her place is on the internet. And she doesn't believe me. I'm the one that did the Google Maps entry for her place. You know, I created the place. And so let me do this while I'm talking. I will go ahead and show you that again. That's the mailing labels for the postcards. If you go to TaiwanLive.tv/late night show, if you go to TaiwanLive.tv and just click on the menu, there is a menu option for late night show. And when you click on that, it displays the late night show page, and scroll down and you will see mailing labels for postcards. That is a link. Click on that. You'll be able to download a PDF file, and you print out the PDF file, and it's interlaced English and Chinese, and that is the address. And you can just paste it, you know, cut it out and paste it on your postcard. But anything that you want to write to Win-Win would be just fine. And I translate it for her, you know. I let her know what people are saying. And this is the place here. This is Win-Win's, you know. It's got, you know, the Chinese and the, you know, the Vietnamese. You guys have seen me here a million times. And, you know, I'm not the only guy that's been here, you know. That's right. We have our friend, whoops, this way, Dr. Koch. Yep, this way. So this is it. Mike has an interesting comment, and I'll address that in just a second. Casper Koch, my friend over here, Dr. Casper Koch. He is a PhD chemical engineer. He will be here. Yes, dancing, singing Casper. That's right. Absolutely, Betty. You know that because you remember from the previous stream. You know, from sorry about that. I had a little glitch. The previous stream where we did the karaoke. Yeah. So anyway, he's coming back here at the end of this month, and we will have a little live stream down from this section, from this place here, from Win-Win's. And let's see, there's even a yeah. What I got to do is I got to get rid of. Oh, I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, here you go. I'll get rid of myself. There you go. That was us last time. When we were all together. We had a little interview with Win-Win. That was a lot of fun. But anyway, I really like this Caspar with the shades. And I can join him, so it's nice. Mike asked a question about the trash. Well, unfortunately, most of the trash, it's my understanding that it is incinerated because we just don't have the real estate to do landfill, you know, so. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. I am doing well. And I got my hair cut, you know. It was getting so long. It was crazy. Back in the old days, you know, I could have my hair a little bit longer. I brushed it back. It was higher. It looked okay. But now that it's getting thin, it just looks like I'm trying to hang on to my youth, you know. And that's no good. No good at all. So let me do this. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you guys that if you go to TaiwanLive.tv and you go to the late night show to that page, I uploaded and implemented 2 audiophile players on that page, and you can play the Taiwan Live theme if you want to. Because I've done a couple versions. You know, we got the regular Taiwan Live theme. This is all original music that I have done. And, you know, the Taiwan Live theme at the beginning of the show and the closer of the show, that's one version. And I've got a longer version that I use on the break. And if you want to hear it, you can go to taiwanlive.tv to the late night show /late night show, and you can play the extended version to your heart's content. But I want to take a break for a second, and it just so happens that the break music I have is the long version, and we'll be right back after this. Now, tonight's show is sponsored in part by iVideo, and you can see the URL, ivideo.com.tw/English. Now, they provide mobile internet services for Europe, America, and Asia. Now, let me explain something. They don't have something for North America at the second. For the USA, they have a version in Chinese, and they're working on an English staff. But if you want South America or Canada, they have that in English right now. Now, for a 10% discount, please check out the video description in the bottom of this video. And I admit, I have to edit the title of this video. Don't let it throw you. By the time you see this on the replay, it'll be fixed. So there you go. There's a 10% discount. And the great part about it is any time that you want to rent something from ivideo.com for overseas internet connections, my coupon code is good for 10% every time, not just the first time. And so they really have a great, fantastic service. Okay, now we have some questions here, and can't see the N in Taiwan on the black screen. You mean on the break? Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, because the back was brown. Yep. Now, Bud says, now wait, because he said this and it didn't show on the burned on the chat stream. You had blonde hair when I first started watching you. Did you dye it? No. Because when you first started watching me, I was 61 or 60. And now I'm only 62. So no, it's always been this color. Bud, how you doing? You guys are funny, man. You guys are really funny. So yeah, that's the deal. Now, if you guys would like to send a bumper video to me, I love these. This is where you take your mobile phone and you hold it, not this way, but this way. And you say something like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so, nice to see you." And you're watching Late Night with MJ Klein. And that would be something like this. And if you want to send me one of those to my email address, latenight@taiwanlive.tv, I would be more than happy to edit that into a nice bumper. And we got quite a few. I really have been blessed with some nice bumpers. Let me show you another one by our good friend Ken. Now everybody knows Ken. There you go. And so he did a great bumper. He actually did two. And I love it. Now, we had some others, but, well, somebody I know, and you may recall, gave me a bumper years ago, and I used it for a while. And this person, I'm not going to say if it's a man or a woman, but this person became a little bit undesirable, is all I'm going to say. No audio in the bumpers. Okay, that I need to know, because the interesting thing is, all right, bear with me. I'm going to do another bumper again. I want to see this. Streamlabs OBS has been revamped. The audio has been revamped, and they messed up my monitoring, so I can't even monitor. Let me try a bumper again. I want to see this. I want to see what happens. Thank you for that audio report. Let me do this. Monitor and output. Oh, okay, hold on. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I see exactly what's going on here. Okay. No, not this one. This one. All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You're in the kitchen when you heard your name. That's funny. All right. I'm going to do the bumper again, and I want to thank you so much. See, here's the problem. Unless I do a private live stream and try to monitor it, I can't hear what's going on. Anyway, I went to Discord and I reported to Streamlabs that the audio is messed up and they can't figure out why. I mean, they said, nothing they did should have changed it, but tell me if you hear this bumper now.
Hey everyone, this is Kenrod, aka Ken, and you're watching Late Night with MJ Klein.
That should have played. That should have played just fine. So, anyway. Yeah. This is really bugging me. I got to figure out how I can monitor my audio. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. And Ken, thank you so much for the reports, though. Now, Mike, you asked me about Tom Petty. Tom Petty was really, really interesting. Good. Thank you. I appreciate it, Betty. Thank you. Tom Petty was really, really interesting. He did very simple, straightforward rock and roll. And it just goes to show you, that you don't have to do, all kinds of crazy hammer-ons and guitar diarrhea and all these things to have good songs. And that's kind of, as a recording artist in the old days, that was my thing. I just wanted to give people good music that they could listen to. But more importantly, I used to have these discussions with my publisher. If people can't hum the song to themselves later, it'll never be a hit. And so the thing about Tom Petty was he really was good at doing these memorable songs. After the song was done playing and it faded out, you still heard it in your head. That's what he was really good at. There were a couple of tunes that, I agree. There were a couple of tunes that he did, like The Waiting. I mean, I have a 12-string, but I don't have it set up right now. But the 12-string, if you do the 12-string, The Waiting, it's absolutely an amazing tune. And the thing about the guitar solo is the guitar player just did, he just did what we call octaves. It was amazing. It was like so simple, but epic. And it doesn't have to be an epiphany, you know, to be epic. It just has to be something that strikes you in the soul, in the core. And, you know, he died way too young. He was 66. Man, I'm 62. And I can't imagine in 4 years being gone. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I got to watch it. And, yeah, if you know the URL for that, please post it here. And it probably won't display as a URL, but we can copy it. But yeah, man, it's like that was, you know, he was really, really good. And the thing is he wasn't known as being, you know, a fantastic singer technically. But again, you don't necessarily have to be a highly technical singer if you can sell the song, if you have the emotional content. I used to say this in the studio, and you guys know I was a record producer in Boston for many years, and I used to tell people, you know, I would rather go for a really hot, emotional performance than a technical one. And that's why I liked Joe Cocker so much. I mean, Joe Cocker, as a singer, he sucked. As a performer, he was without peer. He was unbelievable. But if you held him up, you know, to the yardstick of a technical singer, like against some operatic singer, it would be a joke. But the guy could grab a mic and he could have the audience in tears in 10 seconds just because he knew how to sell a song. He knew how to sell himself. He knew the elements that were important in singing a song. And that's why he was so great. Tom Petty, I think, had that ability too. And still to this day, I love many of the tunes that he did. And I'll just be, you know, driving down the street and one of these tunes will pop in my head. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, that is a clickable URL. Thanks, Mike. Oh, you know what I did? I fixed that. Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate that. I'm going to look at that. Although it's 4 hours. Holy cow. I'm going to have to break that up into pieces. But yeah, I never met him. I don't think I know anybody that did meet him, but he sure seemed like he was a decent guy. So let's do this. I got a bumper lined up. Let me cut this off here and let me see if I can do this. Hold on.
Hey everyone, I want
to take Ken off.
Rob Ebner.
We're going to do Rob. Okay, Rob.
With MJ Klein.
We're going to do Steve.
Hi, this is Steve from Florida, and you're on Late Night with MJ Klein.
Now, because this is a new version of Slobs, that's Streamlabs OBS, I need you guys to tell me whether or not you heard that. And I think you did because I enabled the output. Lives in Malibu, okay. You know, I've never been out there. I've only been to California once. I went to Irvine to actually, believe it or not, move a factory from Irvine, California to Medway, Massachusetts. It was the only time I was ever there. But yeah, it was fun. Okay, good. I really appreciate that. You heard that. So let's go to a different background. And this works better. Hello, Rob. We just had you for a bumper. Good morning. Excellent. Okay, that's really good. I can't hear it. As bizarre as that may seem, it doesn't come back. See, I'm using an audio interface. I'm using an actual mixer. I put my microphone signal into it and the keyboards and everything else, excuse me, into the mixer. And it has an audio interface that interfaces into the computer. And OBS has an input for that. Now, what I did before was every other audio source that I had all the bumpers, you know, all the you know, the playback audio, I would have on monitor, but not output. And it would monitor to the USB interface and go through the interface and back into the computer and then out. So I always knew what you could hear and what you couldn't hear, because if I couldn't hear it, you couldn't hear it. And now I have no idea. And they revamped the entire system. And it's been a nightmare for me. I spent all afternoon trying to figure it out. So. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Gary Shandling was cool, or is cool. But I haven't seen him for a super long time. Oh my goodness, been so long since I've seen him. And there's another Taiwan beauty shot that I think you guys might like. This is Su Ao. This is the let me do this. This is a small city. It's a port on the northeast section of Taiwan. And you see that bridge in the middle. It's just like that. It looks just like this. It's amazing. There's a hill. The highway goes right by this. I just pulled my car over. I jumped out. I took the shot. That was it. It's amazing. So, there you go. That's Su Ao. And that's what Taiwan looks like. All right, now. Excuse me. Got to take a drink. Actually, I'm done with the alcohol for tonight. This is just soda water. Now, for those who may have just joined, let me show you our information again one more time. If you want to send a postcard, you can go to taiwanlive.tv. Look at the menu. The pull down is it's /late night -show, and you scroll down and you find the link, mailing labels for postcards. It will download a PDF file that you can print out, and you can paste that on your postcard, and I'll show them. I will show your postcards. Great, we love it. If you want to send an email, send it please to me at late night at taiwanlive.tv. Late night at Taiwan Live TV. Listen, even if you have a complaint, if you have something that you want to correct me on, or that you'd like to, you know, something you don't like, want me to change, anything, I'd like to hear from you. I appreciate feedback, and it doesn't matter. You know, I take everything constructively. So if you got something, you know, that you want to say, and don't worry, I can keep it private too. That's not an issue. But I just want to let you know that you guys have access to me here anytime that you want. And we also have a line group, and what you can do is pause the video on YouTube on your computer, playback, and use your mobile phone app, Line app, to scan this, and that way you can join the late night group. Now, Mike, you asked a really, really good question. As we know, Southeast Asia, although Taiwan is not technically part of Southeast Asia, it's East Asia. Southeast Asia is a huge contributor to the plastic pollution problem in the Pacific Ocean. That is a fact. I just read this past week that in particular Thailand is really, really bad. And I've been to Thailand like 15 times. And I'm going to tell you that every single time I went to Thailand, I mean, bag. And sometimes if you order, like at a fountain, you order a Coke, they hold a bag up and they put the fountain, you know, they put it in the bag, put a straw in the bag and tie it up. So you've got a plastic bag full of Coke. Yeah, well, there you go. Although I don't think Massachusetts is the problem. And I will tell you something. Let me back up a second. I worked for a short time as a consultant in the plastic bag manufacturing industry. And I will tell you one thing, that plastic bags are 100% recyclable. Now, it doesn't mean that you can make new bags out of 100% recycled material, because you always have to add virgin material. But what I mean is 100% of those bags can be used for remelt, as opposed to paper bags. Paper bags are significantly lower, the amount of material that's recycled. All right, now let's get back to Taiwan, because you talked about that. Several years ago, gosh, it must have been 6 or 7 years ago, they said that they were going to ban plastic bags. Yeah, I know. That's ridiculous. The gallon of milk has a handle on it, right? Well, I used to say, even on my blog, if you could get people here to stop using plastic straws, that would be, the end of the problem. I saw a girl in Thailand with a beer bottle and a straw in it. I'm like, oh, okay. I see, every single thing. I buy a bottle of tea, straw. I buy like a carton of something, straw. Coffee, straw. Everywhere, straws. Plastic tops, everything. Several years ago, I don't remember how many years ago. I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7. I don't know. I'm just telling you, a while ago, Taiwan banned the plastic bag. And I remember Edward Norton, the actor, came on TV and was talking about all the places around the world that banned the plastic bag, to save the environment. And he named Taiwan. And I looked at my wife and we looked at TV and we busted out laughing, because we know that's a bunch of crap. It doesn't matter. So anyway, at the beginning of 2017, they finally implemented what they started to do back then. See, they told stores that you cannot give away plastic bags anymore. They have to be sold. And believe it or not, that does make a difference, because even though the bags are only 1 NT, and currently 1 NT dollar is 1/30th of a US dollar, okay? People who don't really need a bag won't pay the 1 NT. But I gotta tell you, in my neighborhood, all these little ma and pa shops, they got these really, really cheap bags. And they don't charge anything. If I go to the Thai restaurant and I order Wai Dai, takeout, comes in a little bag. A plastic bag, a really thin, just cheap bag. And, excuse me, any of these stores around here that I go to that are not like supermarkets or chains, no, there's no difference at all. If you were to walk around with me, and we were to buy, not at like, 7-Eleven or High Life or Family Mart, but at the local ma and pa shops, if you and I were to walk around and just buy stuff, we could get 20, 30, we could get 50 bags in an afternoon if we bought that much stuff. It's amazing. However, I will say this, there is kind of a, well, it's not really a push, but there's a suggestion from some of the stores. And one of them is Costco, because Costco's from the US. But some of the stores will offer you for a cheap price a cloth bag that you can recycle, and with a logo on it and stuff, so you think it's cool and all that. So you buy, the bag from A Mart or RT Mart or whatever. So, and yeah, I know. It's this stuff. You heard me say it before, and yeah, you can accuse me of being religious, but God's kingdom is the only answer, because it's the only thing that can solve everything. Yeah, mankind can't solve these problems. It's beyond. We can do whatever we want, and it's just you can't get enough people together. You can't get everybody to agree. But the thing is many stores are offering these. Cloth bags. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen these. And some of them even are insulated, which is cool, because, you buy frozen stuff or you buy cold stuff. You want to keep it cool and all that. So, but, call me whatever you want. I just know that we can't solve this. And I did some research on the Atlantic and the Pacific Garbage Patch. And the thing is, you can't really quantify it because the particles are microscopic. They're basically on an atomic level. And it's basically, how many parts per million. So thanks, Mike. I don't think I'm doing any work. And to be honest with you, I don't think I'm helping. I'm just telling people, what I think, and because I've been around a little bit. But man, I really like this background with Suau. This background is really, really something. Anyway, my show would be absolutely nothing without you guys. And I really appreciate so much, your participation. And if anybody wants to call me on Skype, you can reach me at Taiwan Live TV. One word, Taiwan, Taiwan, Live, Live, and then TV. Yeah. Or if you're on the line group, you can just give me a call. And we're all set up for audio. In fact, I could do the Skype. What do they call it? Yeah. The Skype, Echo / sound service. Yeah, there you go. I've got my insulated cup with my Taiwan Live TV stickers, by the way. Yeah, got some stickers made. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. Because, a while back, I did a prototype t-shirt. And here's the thing. I don't really want to make money. You know what I mean? I don't want to fleece my followers for money, which in the future, I want to do some pay-per-view live streams. I want to invite some stars to come on and do things with me, but I'm not going to do the $100 or $200, kind of things, kind of streams. But we have the opportunity to create some Taiwan Live, just like this logo in the back, Taiwan Live t-shirts. And it would actually, let's see, it would be this image here. Okay, without me. It would be the Taiwan Live image on a t-shirt. And we have an opportunity to do that. So if you guys would be interested, you can let me know. And what we'll do is we can set that up actually through the live stream. And my goal would be to come up with a price that would include shipping throughout the world, because that really bugs me. It always bugs me when I buy something for $10 and then it's $20 to ship it. So anyway, Mike's asking me my hobbies in my teens. Well, of course, I've been playing guitar since I was 12, so I'm 62. So that means I've been playing guitar for 50 years. Oh, Shirley did the logo. You guys know Shirley. Shirley did my logo for me. I really appreciate it. I think I need to kick it out a little bit, though. It's a little bit close to the edge, but that's okay. Yeah, Shirley did that logo. And Shirley wants to do the logo for my new company, but we'll talk about that later. But I've always been a guitar player, and I got into singing later. My mom was a singer in the 50s and the 60s, and I think some of you who follow me on the Line app saw that I had showed some pictures that were in an archive of my mom from the 60s singing. I was always into radio, and I took a ham radio course when I was 12, but I didn't, wasn't really ready for it. I learned Morse code as an adult later on. But yeah, mostly just listening to music and, playing records. And, most of the groups that I listen to, I only listened really to a couple. I was a really big fan of Queen when they came out in 1973. I was a big fan of The Who. Now, I credit listening to The Who and Pete Townsend with giving me my rhythm guitar chops. And I know, I'm not really like a hot lead guitar player, but I got rhythm guitar chops like nobody. I mean, if you listen to my records, they're super, super solid on the guitar chops. But the other band I listened to a lot was Boston, when they came out, and I was fortunate enough to meet them in the next year. Yeah, sure. My stage name back in those days was MJK. Let me put it in the chat. And there actually is I put up a historical site, for the history of it. It's called MJK.Asia, because I'm in Asia now. So if you go to MJK.Asia, you can see a lot of photographs of me doing the old stuff I used to do. And there are 9 songs with, an embedded player. My mom was Mary Jane Klein. Actually, what am I saying? She still is. She's 90 years old. Did I see Boston live? Yes, I did. I saw Boston in 1977 in Greensboro, North Carolina. It was the second to last night of their first American tour. And that's when I met Brad Delp and Tom Schultz. And, Brad Delp kindly spent, oh my gosh, he must have spent 2 hours with me. I talked to him earlier, and then later Tom Schultz came out, and he very kindly talked with me for quite a while. And then hey Matthew, how you doing? Nice to see you. And then I saw Tom a couple years later in Boston. They had influenced me to move to Boston for the music business. And then a couple years later, Tom's company, gosh, my lips are this to do it. Tom had a company called Schultz R&D that came out with a device called the Power Soak, which was designed to go between the amp head and the speaker cabinet of your guitar rig so you could turn it down and control it. See, the thing is, you want to turn the guitar gain up high. Hey, Sylvia, how you doing? Wow, we haven't seen you so long. Nice to see you. You want to turn the guitar amp up high so you get the distortion and the sustain, but it's too loud. So if you put the attenuator between the amplifier and the cabinet, then you can turn it down. And he made a device to do that. And it was called the Tom Schultz Power Soak. And I had bought one. I had prepaid for it, and I kept calling EU Wurlitzers in Boston. And finally they told me, yeah, he's here right now. And I went right down and I saw him, and he very kindly took time to explain to me how it worked and how to use it on my amp. And he actually said that he remembered meeting me like 4 years earlier. So that was good. It's nice to know. Thank you very much, Ken. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining. Now, I don't have it set up, but you guys know that I have a keyboard over here, and I do like my MIDI files, and I've got the TC Helicon Voice Live Touch 2 that I use for vocals and so forth. I got to tell you, you guys know the Boston song called Peace of Mind. Well, there's a really, really decent MIDI file on that song. And using the TC Helicon, sorry, I'm preoccupied reading the comments. The TC Helicon, I got to do this. I got to play the song not tonight, sometime soon in the next couple weeks. I want to play this song for you and let you guys hear this and how fantastic it sounds. Well, thank you very much, Sylvia, and God bless you too. I really appreciate that. Thanks. The voice box, Mike. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Are you talking about where they do auto tune, or the voice box used to be a tube that would come up by the microphone, and you would stick your mouth in it, and like Peter Frampton did that song, and it would make like a wah wah sound. What they used to call that, the voice box. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but anyway, I've got a MIDI workstation here, and the TC Helicon Voice Live Touch 2, And, you know, of course, I've got my audio mixer on the outboard here and the Brian May guitar, a couple of Vox amps here. And it's all set up, but I'm not going to do it tonight. But I promise you that very soon I will do some of those Boston songs for you because I know you guys really, really like it. And that was some great music from the 70s. And I've been adamant about saying for years that, you know, where are the new writers? Where are the new singers? Where are the new artists? You know, I mean, they're just... Oh. And one of my favorite guitar players in the world, you guys know who I'm talking about, is playing with a young guy who's the singer, and he's just all wrong. Ken and I have talked about this, the three wrongs. The wrong look, wrong sound, wrong generation. Oh yeah. Well, you know, the thing is, Mike, is I use that when I'm singing live, but if you listen to my records from years ago, I didn't use that stuff. I did my records the same way Brad Delp from Boston did. I sang every single track one at a time over and over. It was like painstaking. And we did what we call triple tracking. Whatever we would sing for a harmony, whether it's 3 parts or 4 parts or 5 parts, we would sing all those tracks for like one side, like the left side. Then we would sing the same number of tracks for the right side. Then we would sing the same number of tracks for the center and triple tracked. And it took just hours and hours. There's one song, if you go to mjk.asia and you look at the song called I Don't Want to Say Goodnight, it took me 8 hours to do the background vocals, but they're triple tracked and they're 5 parts. Okay, Betty, thank you. I will look that person up. Thank you. Well, the problem is everyone sounds the same. Yeah, that's because they're copying everybody. They're copying the same people. That's a problem. And yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but I've always said that if a new, older artist were to come out and do stuff like, you know, from the 70s or 80s, that new artist would be extremely popular. But, you know, that is not a position that the record companies want to recognize. And I can't tell you how many times they used to hammer me for not doing new ground. I don't want to cut new ground. I wanted to give people what, you know, they wanted to hear. Anyway, let's see what we got for a bumper here. Let's check this out. Thank you.
Hi, this is Rob Ebner, and you're watching Late Night with MJ Klein.
And I want to thank Rob for that bumper. I really appreciate that. And hopefully you guys will email me some of your own files so I can make bumpers out of you too. So I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. Mike says he's not looking for the answer, just stating the problem. I know. I'm sorry. I have a tendency to try to solve problems, and you're right. Sometimes you just want to say it's this way. And I know what you mean, so. I need to bury that. Rob, I think that's a good one, man. You're sitting in your car. You look like you're getting ready, you know, to go to Costco or something. I think it's great. So, why would I bury that? Okay, make me another one. Now, I will tell you this. Our good friend Coco, who unfortunately, Coco doesn't always join us live. And, you know, we all love Coco, right? And she's a big influence in our line group and in the old Twitter group. And we've been watching her streams on Periscope and Broadcast and YouTube. she's working on a bumper, and she has a really great idea. So I'm working with her on that. We got to get it right. It's not, we're not ready yet, but I just want you guys to know that there will be a Coco bumper in the near future. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Rob. Glad to hear that you're working on it. And I got to tell you something. These green screens, of course, you can't see it because I've got, I got it blanked out. But a green screen, a real chroma key green screen, is about $15 for the, the cloth. I got a 2 meter by 3 meter piece. It cost me like $15. So did that in one take. All right, one take, man. Yeah. Well, you didn't need another take. That's the thing. You nailed it. And it's like William Shatner. There is no take two. You give him the copy, he reads it, and you give him his check. Oh, I guess I owe you a check. A tube amplifier. Yeah. In the old days, yep. And my Vox amps do have tubes in them, yeah. I am a tube amplifier guy. Yeah, I built my career on tube amplifiers, yep. And yes, they are. There are many tube-like guitar amplifiers and audiophile amplifiers. Like the old days, we used to use the Macintosh in the studio. Oh, yeah. Well, they sound so amazing for the simple reason that our analog ears are used to what we call good distortion. And I know it sounds stupid. I know it sounds crazy. But there is such a thing as good distortion. And the way that tubes or valves amplify signals matches what our ear wants to hear. And sometimes digital amplifiers don't, and they can sound harsh or they just sound unnatural. So some people will equalize or change the dampening factor or what other factors in the amplification process to imitate tubes. Now you can take a software defined amplifier and make it sound like a tube amplifier just by, software emulation, and that works too. But yep. When you hear my guitar amps, they have a single tube in them. They're called Valtronics. It is mostly a solid state. It's called what we call modeling amplifiers, where they have listened to different amplifiers in the studio and have made circuitry to clip and sound very much like those original tube amplifiers. But these amps have a small tube. It's a 12AX7. It's a preamp tube, and they use it to give you the dampening factor in the PA or the power amplifier, so it sounds like it has like some like presence and a hard kind of a whoomp at the end. So it's hard to describe, but yeah, very much, man. In the music world, tube amplifiers rock, and people still today will spend. You can spend $2,000 on a mechanical turntable, and you can spend $10,000 on a tube amp and speaker systems. And I swear, yeah, some of them do. You got to spend the money. Some of those old analog recordings are just astonishing. I heard Brian May talking about that because everybody, uses hard disk recording, but he was talking about going back and remastering some of the old stuff like Bohemian Rhapsody, and they were just astonished how clean, clear, and crisp and dynamic the original tapes, the 2-inch tape analog recordings were. But what I've always done for me personally is I have used at home recording monitors, because working in studios, most of my adult life, if I go home, I was really disappointed at some little chintzy stereo in the corner. So like I used to use Eastern Acoustic Works, had some monitors, the MS-50s, and they were fantastic. I had them mounted on the wall of my home, and I could hear punch marks and all kinds of editing things that were present in records that I've listened to that you just couldn't, you couldn't get that kind of that kind of detail from the the Kmart speakers. But anyway, we were talking about something else. This is live TV. Gosh, I forgot what it was we were talking about. So anyway, speaking of audio, I'm going to play you a little bit of the Taiwan Live extended theme song. We'll be right back. I want to thank the folks at iVideo for supplying me with the mobile internet Wi-Fi box, and I am actually using their mobile Wi-Fi box right now. So this broadcast is connecting to the internet through their SIM card and their mobile Wi-Fi box, and their service is fantastic. So be sure to look in the description below and use the coupon code and the URL, and you can get a 10% discount every single time that you rent from them. ivideo.com.tw/English. And they also have Chinese service too, if you're so inclined. Thank you. Betty, we're not old. We're not old. We just know what we're doing. So, anybody want to join me using Line or on Skype? You can join me, Taiwan Live TV. And let me do this. Let me just make sure that you guys know what I mean. Taiwan Live TV in the comments. That is the Skype ID that I'm using for the show, and anybody who wants, who wants to join using our QR code, yes, you're right, Mike. You can use the QR code, join the late night group, and you can send us messages that way. So, I owe you guys a new show closing, and I apologize so much because it's from 2016. Of course, common law copyright covers me through 2018. But yeah, the thing is I really need to get off my duff and do a new closer, and I need to get rid of the broadcast icon because I'm not using broadcast at the moment. Now, I may have an update on broadcast sometime in the near future, and I'll let you guys know. But I want to thank everyone for joining. I really appreciate it. This has been a great show, and I've had so much fun. We've had a lot of folks join us tonight. We had a lot of traffic in the comments, which is always great. I really appreciate it. Now, Dr. Casper Koch is coming here at the end of this month. We're going to be going down to Win-Win's place, right? You know Win-Win's place. We talked about it earlier. This is Win-Win's place, and that's Casper right there, right? So, thank you, Rob. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. Thank you. That's Casper there in his cool blue shades. And Casper and I are going to probably do a simulcast. Casper probably will do a live stream on Periscope. I'll live stream on YouTube. And we both have gimbals. We're talking about walking around the neighborhood and doing a walk around and showing you all the cool stuff in the neighborhood. And, because we haven't done that before. And then going back to Win-Win's and talking with Win-Win and anybody else who wants to join us. So that should be cool. Yeah, it should be cool to walk around. The neighborhood has changed quite a bit. And he's got a good block of time. So we're going to have dinner with the family, then come back and go down to Win-Win's. And looking forward to having your participation and your comments. And of course, you know, you can join us in either stream that you want and ask questions and ask us, you know, to go check out this place or that place, or, you know, do whatever. So we're looking forward to that. So he's going to be here at the end of this month. And before the end of this month, and I'm saying this now so you guys can hold me to it, I'm going to start at least the first installment of my supplements show, because I want to talk about the supplements that I take and the effect that it's had on my health. It's really important, especially the older that you get. But you know, the supplements that I take are good for young people too. Because the thing is, if you start out young and have good health, it really helps your longevity later on. I know a lot of guys in the music business that used to say stuff to me like, man, if I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself when I was younger. That's really true. One of the things that helped me was when I was young, I was a bodybuilder. Now, you really can't tell by looking at me. Well, maybe a little bit. I don't know. But when I was younger, I lifted weights at least 3 times a week at a gym called Universe Gym. I worked out very conscientiously and very seriously. And so if you do the same thing with supplements, it really helps your longevity. So that's one of the things that I really want to get to. And I've been promising you that for a long time. And it's no excuse. I have been busy. That's the excuse everybody uses. It's no good. I want to do at least the first installment. I want to break them up and show you, you know, some of them in one installment and some of them in another installment, because it's not just, you know, not just showing you the supplements. I got to tell you what they do and, you know, the effect it's had on me. Yes, exactly. Sugar ruins health. Yes, exactly. And so the other thing I want to do is I do want to play a couple of those songs, the Boston songs. Man, they sound really good with the TC Helicon and the, you know, the MIDI files. And Mike, you remember the MIDI files that we played before. So thanks so much for joining, you guys. Really, it's been a great pleasure. You take care. And I really appreciate your support of my channel and my live streams. Family's doing great. Family's doing really, really great. Phoenix is 5.5. Her reading skills are just, for her age, they're off the chart. Her teachers have been really good, especially Tim, her English teacher. He's fantastic. So yeah, I got no complaints. She's in a half English, half Chinese class. So the morning is English, and the afternoon is Chinese. It's really great. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your patronage and your support. And some of you guys go way back from the very beginning when I started live streaming on mobile. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Fist bump. You guys take care. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Matthew. Thank you. Yeah, there is. There is. And Matthew, be sure and join us on the line group if you can, and also on the Twitter group. We're still monitoring. We're still there in the Twitter group. So, guys, take care. I'm gonna play the show closer. Just ignore the copyright. Thank you so much for joining. Take care. Been watching Taiwan Live TV with MJ Klein. Thank you so much.